Yes, I'm Hutch. I'm going to start off with a quote real quick. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, for it requires that we should stand ready and firm to meet onsets which are sudden and unexpected. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. So I've had a lot of unexpected, things happen to me, throughout the years. In high school, my junior year, I broke my leg, and after that, I didn't know if I would be able to, wrestle in college. I missed my whole season, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. I wanted to go to the University of Pennsylvania after that, and I applied in an early Division I round. I didn't really think I would wrestle there, but I ended up getting deferred, and it was the best thing that could have happened to me in hindsight. But in that kind of confusion and scrambling, I met someone named Leo Coker, and he called me up and he talked about the program, and he really sold me on the program. He told me I would become a made man, and I didn't really know. Kate already brought that up, but I didn't really know what that meant. I guess I still don't really know what it means. Maybe something like other mobsters can't kill me. But anyway, he just told me about how you're going to work hard in this program. It's going to be difficult. You're going to go through a lot of hardships. But at the end, it's going to be on the mat, off the mat. But at the end, you're going to have so much more character having gone through it. And looking back, I ended up committing without ever even stepping foot on campus, just based off of his speech to me, and so I applied and I got in early Division II, and looking back on it, he was right. It was the greatest experience. These hardships though, they brought us all together. Especially this class of 2026, I think it's a real special thing, wrestling with each other, and I'm gonna really miss the program. I'm gonna miss the big things. I'm gonna miss the big trips, and going to Vegas sophomore year, going to New York a couple times, going to Puerto Rico this year. The program's been so great, and Gentry has really leveled it up at these 4 years. But I'm gonna miss small things as well. Like getting Culver's after a tough tournament. Always really good. But also some of the moments like at Shrine actually this year. So I was getting ready to wrestle, right? I'm getting ready, and Coach Coker comes up to me, and he's like, "Can I get a show move for Czar?" And so next thing I know, I'm on my face, on the ground, on this scratchy track surface, getting my face cranked into the ground, like Coker on top of me. And I'm on deck. I was and just that segment, no warm up. But it'll be fine. I think I got fifth in the tournament. But did I win it? Okay, cool. That's the type of thing that I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna remember the funny moments, the funny stories. I think there's a picture out there. I should download it. It's the little things that I'm really gonna remember. So my advice to the guys, still in the program is, really buy in, really work hard. Work hard for the sake of working hard, and it's really gonna pay dividends. It's not guaranteed, there's a lot of uncertainty, and that's just life. But the real value is in the striving, and being the man in the arena. It's never the critic who counts. Just remember that. And in doing so, you're going to gain something I like to call a quiet confidence. Amir Williams in the room. No. Last year, stand up, say that. Amir last year, he talked about this in his speech. He said that wrestling really gave him a quiet confidence. He was never the flashiest guy. He would just go in day out and put in the work. And it's something I really respect about him. But it's this quiet confidence that you gain from knowing you can deal with hard things, you can do hard things, and you can get past it. And I think that's really what wrestling is all about. So I just wanted to thank Coach Coker again for taking a chance on me. I want to thank Coach Gentry, and Coach Chao, and Coach Tim, and Coach Schertzis, and Coach Benji for being backstage on the program. Also Danny Lehman and Coach Ryan Fleck, even though he's not here. I definitely want to thank Anisha. Unfortunately, she's not here either, for taping up my ankles all those days. And I want to thank my teammates again, especially the class of 2026. You guys are awesome, and especially Mark Zaid in the back is filming. But you know, all the guys on the team, I can't wait to see what you guys do. You know, over the next 4 years, 3 years, or whatever it is. You know, the program's grown so much in my last 4 years, and I think it's going to continue growing and getting better. Also, I want to thank my family who's here. You know, without you guys' support, I couldn't do this. I want to thank everybody in this room, honestly. And you know, now as I move to Philadelphia for med school this fall, I know I'm going to face a lot of unexpected challenges, but I know the quiet confidence that I've gained from Chicago wrestling is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. Thank you all.